Yes, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is What Zone Jones coming at you, pro wrestling related topic video. And I want to talk about Finn Balor. Finn Balor, ladies and gentlemen, the very first ever Universal Champion. This guy competes in the heavyweight division. Is it believable that Finn Balor can be a heavyweight? Is it believable that Finn Balor can beat actual heavyweights such as guys like Braun Strowman, the Universal Champion right now, Brock Lesnar? Should Finn Balor be a actual heavyweight? Now it's like this. Finn Balor, when you look at him at first glance, do you look at him and see heavyweight? Probably not. And here's the reason why. Because, well, he's just not that big of a guy physically. There's a cruiserweight division now. He really isn't that much bigger than the cruiserweights. To be honest with you, I don't know his exact height. I don't know his exact weight. But Finn Balor, I don't think is even over 6 feet tall. Or at least 6 feet tall. He's probably no taller than maybe 5'8", maybe. So he really isn't that big of a guy. I'm not sure his weight. Maybe he weighs at least 210 pounds, 215 pounds. But when you look at Finn Balor, you probably won't see heavyweight. If you are a person who probably sees Finn Balor for the first time, and you see that he has the heavyweight championship, and they say, hey, here's Finn Balor, the heavyweight champion of the world, you're probably going to look at that guy and say, wait, hold on a second. That guy is the heavyweight champion? Wait, hold on. Look how small he is. Like, wait, he's the heavyweight champion? And you probably would do that. And you probably would actually think that is a joke. Because, well, let's be honest here, Finn Balor isn't a big guy. I like Finn Balor. I really do. Finn Balor has a pretty good fan base, has a pretty good following. The man is definitely talented as hell. They gave him that champion for the championship for a reason. In wrestling, if you can get the fans backing you, you probably can get the heavyweight championship. Like, it's just like that in pro wrestling. Now, if this was like actual real combat, you probably would definitely say instantly, there's no way in hell that little guy is going to beat that big guy. And that's just how it comes across sometimes between a big guy and a little guy. So, the WWE, I think they definitely prefer, they'll probably never admit it, but they'll probably prefer their heavyweight main event champion to be a guy who looks like he can definitely be a actual heavyweight. Here's one of the things that a big guy can definitely do, and I know this from experience. When you are a big guy who is beyond average size, you probably can get people's attention just by walking by them. Even if you didn't do anything, even if you didn't dress weird or anything like that, you just walk by them. And they'll probably look at you and say, whoa, that's a really big guy. They'll probably actually walk up to you and definitely ask you how big you are. I know because it has happened with me over 100 times. I am 6'6", ladies and gentlemen. 6'6". Motherfuckers to me walk up to me all the time. Well, when I say all the time, not every day, but every now and then, somebody will walk up to me and ask me if I'm 7 feet, which to me is dumb as hell because you must be blind or never saw an actual 7-foot person. So I've had that many times where I'm just literally sitting there, minding my own damn business, and a dude or a woman, mostly guys, will just walk up to me and ask me, am I 7 feet? So to me, it's like, why the hell do you care? I guess because to them, my size isn't what you would call an average size. Like, they don't see it a lot. So a guy like Finn Balor probably definitely wouldn't get that at all because he's just not that big of a guy. So, like I said, like by me not being an average size guy, I wear like size like 14 shoes, 15 shoes. By me not being an average size guy, people they think that I'm like LeBron James sometimes. Like people, there was a guy who literally walked up to me thinking I was little LeBron James. And at this time, I used to work at in the airport. And in the airport, sometimes you will see a celebrity. So I'm guessing this guy thought that I was literally LeBron James, the celebrity. I'm talking about like the actual guy. And asked me was I from Cleveland. Like the guy couldn't really like speak English. Like he kept saying like Cleveland. And I'm like sitting there thinking, okay, no, sir, if you want to go to Cleveland, the planes are over there. But basically, look, the guy thought I was LeBron James because I had the height and, black guy, a little bit of a beard, kind of like similar to his. But I thought that was the stupidest thing in the world, by the way. But here's my point. When you are a big guy, a guy who is beyond average size, I guess you come across as almost like a freak show, sort of in a way, because it wows them. They're like, oh my God, you're this big. Oh my God. I'm like, so what? Like, why that? Like if you mean personally, I sometimes hate it when somebody walks up to me like that. And you sit up and say, oh my God, you're a big guy. And I go, oh, well, thank you, Captain Obvious, because I really do think that's stupid. Like, I've had people stare at me like I'm an alien. But my point is this. A guy like Finn Balor won't get that type of attention. If Finn Balor was probably standing next to me, and if you didn't watch pro wrestling at all, if you didn't watch the WWE, you probably would notice me more than Finn Balor. Even if Finn Balor is standing next to me, like you probably would. Like if you didn't watch wrestling, you probably wouldn't notice that. And if they was to say, hey, there's a heavyweight champion over there, like I said, like if you don't watch wrestling and I'm standing next to Finn Balor and they say there's a heavyweight champion over there and me and him are standing next to each other, you're probably going to think they're talking about me. And the reality, it is Finn Balor who has a championship. Now, in pro wrestling, we've seen little guys prosper over big guys before. We've seen little guys become heavyweight champions. Shawn Michaels and Rey Mysterio, to name a few. Bodybuilder isn't going to be the word to describe those guys. Hell, you can even put CM Punk in there also as well. But since it is pro wrestling, I believe, yeah, definitely it's believable. Why? Because it's pro wrestling. Yes, a big guy can be a heavyweight champion. Because, again, wrestling is fake, whether we want to admit that or not. Wrestling is predetermined, and everything is basically written. It's written, it's storylines. It's written. So yeah, it's fake. So if we all know that wrestling is fake, then why the hell can't we not believe that this little guy can't beat this big guy? We supposed to suspend our beliefs. So our disbeliefs. So I would say yeah, it's believable because one, we've seen it plenty of times before. And once again, wrestling is fake. If this was real, actual combat, for example, UFC fighting, I'm pretty sure there's no way in hell that a guy like Finn Balor would even think about competing in the heavyweight division. Hell, let's talk about CM Punk. CM Punk, I think, weighed 230 pounds when he was in WWE. He did not compete in the heavyweight division of the UFC. Why? Because he would get knocked the fuck out. Period and point blank. He's a real he's a smaller guy. I think he might be 5'11" or 6 feet, but he doesn't really have the frame of a big heavyweight. So he fought in the 175 division, which is the welterweight division, which is far from the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division, they want you to be in the UFC at least 230 pounds and up. From about 230 pounds to probably like 250. Brock Lesnar was so damn big that he had to cut weight to make heavyweight. So Brock Lesnar is a real good prime example of someone who clearly looks like a heavyweight because he had to cut weight to make heavyweight to fight in the UFC heavyweight division. So those are my thoughts. I just wanted to share that with you. I do think Finn Balor can be believable as a heavyweight champion because it's pro wrestling. It's fake. So if you are a fan of this, of wrestling, of pro wrestling, then it really should be all too easy for you to really accept that a little guy is the heavyweight champion because, well, one, it's fake, let's be honest here. So those are my thoughts. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. I'm out. Cheers.